Alrighty, we're back. That's Nicky Taz. I'm Daniel Federico, and we're here for the Daniel Federico Show, of course. But first, Nick, how you doing, buddy?
Good. A little change of setting here. I got no Wi-Fi at my house right now, so thankful to have loving grandparents that let me come here and record the cast, the pod in the basement.
The god darn dogs.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude, running like friggin' like a Wild West movie in the 50s and knocking stuff over, and all of a sudden the router just goes for you know what.
But we're gonna kick it off. The Canadian Football League kicked off last night. We got the Calgary Stampeders going up against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers tonight. So we're recording this the night before it comes out, making my prediction early on. We're gonna find out tomorrow, or the people will find out tomorrow if my prediction came true or not. I'm gonna have the Calgary Stampeders winning by 14 against the tough Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But first, the Hamilton Tiger Cats kicked off their season against the Montreal Alouettes, losing in heartbreaking fashion, 30 to 27 in overtime. What a stellar game to kick off the season. And first, before I talk about this game, I want to talk about the broadcast on TSN. That was awesome. I think they did terrific work last night. They had three people in the booth. They had Rod Smith do the play-by-play, and he's always been doing the play-by-play, and he's done a terrific job time and time again. He had Luke Wilson also in the booth. He did a terrific job in his debut in the booth. And then, of course, the great Dwayne Ford also beside them. That was terrific to listen to all night long. The Hamilton Tiger Cats offense disappeared in the second half. Struggles. Some things that I actually saw from this game that is a little concerning for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who's a Grey Cup contending team, is their non-existent run game. They kind of just went away with it. I went away from it. Where they had Larry Roundtree coming in, he had a little short stint with the Chicago Bears. And they have Johnny Augustine backing him up too from Welland, Ontario, Niagara kid, Niagara athlete. Um, yeah, it kind of went away out of Hamilton's way. Bo Levi Mitchell threw a pick six. That kind of brought Montreal back to this game, and then went to overtime. A fumble from Wheatfault, one of the new receivers on the Hamilton Tiger Cats in overtime. He fumbled it. Montreal scooped it up, kicked a game-winning field goal, and now Davis Alexander is 12-0 in the regular season as a starter, but doesn't really count because he did lose the Grey Cup. Also, another thing about this Hamilton Tiger Cats team, even though they didn't win this game, we have 17 more games. They have 17 more weeks of game action for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It's only been one game, but I got to say, they have one of the deepest receiving rooms in all of the Canadian Football League with Gittins Jr., Keandre Smith, Kenny Lawler, who headlines this room, and they have Carrick Wheatfall. You kind of can't have any problems over there, but the Hamilton Tiger Cats did find themselves in a problem. Well, it was kind of more like Bo Levi Mitchell. I'm a big believer of Bo Levi Mitchell. I love Bo Levi Mitchell, but when you throw a pick six and it kind of ends up costing you the game because they were in control of this game a majority of the part until that pick six happened, or at least it felt like it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my lighting. It's
I
driving
was
me.
gonna say it's your face is just getting brighter by the moment, and I'm
Yeah, I
moving
don't
my
know
head.
why. I'm just
Well, I
gonna
don't
turn.
know. I don't know. That's so
Just gonna,
weird.
just gonna turn off this light behind it. Um, But yeah, felt like the Hamilton Tiger Cats were in control of this game for the entire game, even though it was close throughout the whole game. And then Bo Levi kind of threw that pick six. I was like, okay, defense needs to step up, and the offense needs to step up in a bigger time now. And they couldn't just because they couldn't get their run attack going. I know we're talking about the running game in the Canadian Football League. Like, what? No, it still exists, and it still needs to be a factor of your game or in your game. Well, the Hamilton Tiger Cats are 0-1. Start the season 0-1. Montreal starts 1-0. It's on to the next for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Calgary Stampeders open up their season tonight. Excited to see how Vernon Adams Jr. does. Again, after he was coming off of a pretty solid year last year. No Jalen Hutchins tonight, who they just recently re-signed, brought him back from the NFL when he had a little short stint. Actually, spent only a couple months with the Vikings this past offseason. Um, but yeah, but first I have some picks. I tweeted this out yesterday. Um, Here's my predictions for the awards that are coming out and who's going to win the Grey Cup for this upcoming season. My Grey Cup champion is going to be the BC Lions. I think Nathan Rourke is about to step up even more, even though he won MOP last year. He's going to step up even more and be even a better leader. He just kind of continues that leadership year in and year out. It kind of gets better year in and year out. So I have the BC Lions winning the Grey Cup. My most outstanding player is going to be Davis Alexander, the Montreal Alouettes quarterback. Most outstanding Canadian is going to be Tyson Philpott. Tyson Philpott, I don't know if you saw this touchdown catch he had last night. Oh, baby, was it ever an incredible catch for a touchdown last night? Tyson Philpott's going to be my most outstanding Canadian, or he's going to win that award. Already starting the year off strong. He had a ginormous touchdown last year and last night, and a beautiful touchdown grab, catching it off of the defender's back. My most outstanding defensive player is going to be Jalen Hutchins. He's just going to get better from last season. He was a he was a force to be reckoned with last season, and he's just going to be even better once he's healthy enough to play. And then my most outstanding special teams player is going to be Isaiah Wooden. He recently just got re-signed to the Hamilton Tiger Cats as he had a short stint with this past offseason in the NFL. And then my coach of the year is going to be Buck Pierce, the BC Lions head coach. Bear with me today with my throat. It's cooked. Haven't talked that much in a while. And then my Grey Cup matchup is going to be the BC Lions versus the Montreal Alouettes in the Grey Cup, with BC Lions coming out on top. So those are my award predictions. Coach of the Year, Buck Pierce. Most outstanding special teams player is going to be Isaiah Wooden. Most outstanding defensive player is going to be Jalen Hutchins. My most outstanding Canadian is going to be Tyson Philpott. And my most outstanding player is going to be Davis Alexander. The CFL is here. We're going to talk about it a lot on the show. Obviously, we're going to have Anson Gross come on too a lot as the season. He's going to come on next week. We're going to recap and talk about this past week, recap the games, do all that fun stuff. But Nick, you have any thoughts about the CFL? I know they have a brand new broadcasting deal with the Zone happening in 2027, worth up to $500 million. That's tremendous for the league. A lot of hate on the internet, and I got to ask you this question
Hmm.
because you don't watch the CFL like day in and day out, but you have been around it, especially when you cover the OUA and U Sports be exact. But I gotta ask you, there's been a lot of hate about Stuart Johnson, Commissioner Stuart Johnson. I've been a big advocate for Commissioner Stuart Johnson. I think he's doing one hell of a job. He's doing a 10 out of 10 job. He's honestly making this league bigger and better, and this is what it needs because we have the talent in this league that can do it. Now we have the product. The Canadian Football League has the product. If people hate it or not, it's the product, and it's very good. It's not the National Football League, but the CFL has their own lane with their own stars and all this. The broadcasting deal adds in the Zone for Saturday night games starting next year. The Zone. Don't know what the package is going to be like, but it's good. Right now, it's like $24 a month. Talking with the NFL package. I bet the Zone does something just for CFL fans. It's not going to break the bank. I promise you that. I promise you that it's not going to break the bank. And then TSN will be the main broadcaster for the rest of the season. But my question is to you is why do you think people are upset with this deal that you're going to one game a year? Well, I think it's actually like 4 or 5 games. It could be a lot more. games going to the zone. Like, why are people upset about that, you think?
Because I think for the same reason that people like NFL fans like myself and you, but I'm not going to say that as if we share the same opinion because I don't know your opinion, but it's kind of the same thing as where like diehard NFL fans get mad about the international games. And I think that's just because like diehard fans in general are kind of obje they don't love change. And I think in this era, 2026, sports, in order for your league to make it, needs to be globalized. And I think this is the start of globalization for the Canadian Football League. And I think this has a multitude of perks. First being that DAZN is widely used overseas as well in Europe. It is the home for, at least for Canadian soccer fans like me, it is the home for the Premier League, the Champions League. You can watch Serie A on there. You can watch the Bundesliga as well as the NFL, and then various other sports as well. I currently myself pay for the total sports package at DAZN, which it's pricey, but it's because it is definitely the one sports streaming service that I use the most, and my current price per month is like it's like $55
I'm going to ask you
to
this too,
watch.
then. I'm going to ask
But
you this because you do have the total sports package,
yeah,
and you could just be fairly honest here.
yeah.
Because you don't tune into the CFL all the time, but I bet and I know that when it's on your TV, you do watch and you do know fairly the players because you're in that university sports realm. Would you pay to watch the Canadian Football League with your DAZN package? So let's say they
Yeah.
ask you, be like, hey, you could for a total of $7 with you're already paying your total sports package. Let's say you're paying like $100, and that turns into a $7 add-on. Would you add that on just to be able to watch those CFL games?
Well, and I think this is where the contention is coming from because prices to pay for streaming services are just god awful these days. It depends on how much they hike the total sports package by. I'm not willing to pay $100 a month even for all the sports that I watch with DAZN, and I'm a huge soccer fan, as all of you guys know. But if it is something like, let's say they make it like an extra $10, like $65 a month, I would pay for that, because as a casual Cat fan, and as a sports fan who follows the news and is getting ready to see what the new CFL is going to look like in 2027, I'm curious, and I'm curious to see how it affects the team from that is native to where I live, and I I think it's a great opportunity for the CFL in general, and I think fans need to see past the potential financial aspects of it. And I know that is totally easier said than done, and I don't want that to come off as like an a-hole-ish thing for me to say. But I think that people need to look at it, read between the lines, and kind of see the long-term view of how healthy this is for the CFL because you watch it yourself. You're a huge football fan, Daniel. You're a Canadian guy who I was texting with you about a couple weeks ago, and you're watching the American Football League of Europe. Now, do you think to yourself that there could possibly be, let's say, somebody who is from overseas, from Europe, that maybe is native to the AFLE and the European League of Football, but wants to see one of the pioneering football leagues in the world, then they're probably going to pay for the product. And DAZN is probably, in my opinion, is probably the biggest streaming provider for sports overseas. Like that's how a lot of people watch their soccer. And I think if you just have the option available for them, they will be curious enough to try it out. I think this is a good opportunity for the CFL. It's going to get more eyeballs on these franchises. It's going to get more eyeballs on these players. And I don't want it to be the NFL because it has its own like niche thing, but I do want it to have some semblance of NFL like popularity.
Yeah, like I want to see the CFL succeed. Number one, I love the Canadian Football League. I love the uniqueness. I love how all three aspects are such a big part of the game: special teams, defense, and offense. And I love the three downs. I'm a big three down believer. If you could do the three downs, if you could keep the Canadianness of the sport with the American sized field, I think it's going to be great. And I think Stuart Johnson's on the exact same wavelength there. I think he's thinking the exact same way. I think we have a terrific product here. Let's see if we can shrink down this field, put the goalpost in the back of the end zone. The game clock is different. Put the benches on opposite sides. Because, man, I'm not going to lie. When I was watching this game last night, and I have watched the preseason too, and I have seen already the benches on opposite sides, it just looks way more beautiful. It just looks like pure football. You know what I mean? And it
Yeah.
stops the chaos on the sidelines of, there's fights. There's fights on the sidelines a lot with other players and from other teams. The cameras don't show it. The cameras don't ever show it. I don't know how many games I've gone to in the Canadian Football League, and I have seen a fight on the sidelines. It would actually probably astonish people. And people have gone to the games and they've probably seen it too, especially after you score a touchdown and you have to run you have to literally run across the opposing team you just scored on. Of course a punch is going to be thrown because they say some choice words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now splitting it up on opposite sides of the field is just pure football. And then the coach's hand shakes right at center field. That's what the CFL needed. Now with the zone, bringing the zone in. I absolutely love it. I love it. Me personally, I already pay for the NFL. I already pay for the NFL on DAZN. I need Red Zone. I know this. Hell yeah, I'm going to add on the Canadian Football League to watch those Saturday games.
Hmm.
Like, of course, I pay for Apple TV right now just to watch like 3 Blue Jays games when they play on Apple TV. Sports fans and their favorite and teams of like whoever fans love their favorite teams, they're going to support them no matter what. They're going to find a way to watch it if it's a legal streaming site or not. But the true diehards are not going to miss a single game. They're either going to be in attendance or they're going to pay for the streaming service. And that's the damn truth. And I'm okay with that. And the CFL has to make money. If you want these guys to get paid a lot more money, they're going to have to do stuff like this. And I think the zone is perfect. I also heard, I don't know if it's true or not, because we really haven't had a lot of information of what the zone is going to look like for the CFL in 2027. Like, we don't know the pricing, we don't know what's going to happen. But what I have been hearing is that the zone is going to make their own twist on it. You know what I mean? They're going to have their own in-house operation of the Canadian Football League. That
Hmm.
means that's new faces. That's fresh faces. If it's true, that means it's fresh faces,
Hmm.
brand new commentators, brand new panel, all of this brand new. Great for the league, tremendous for the league, and it's just Saturday night football. Yes, it's gonna be one Saturday game. There's probably 3 other Saturday games, and that's all going to be on TSN. True CFL fans will not will not skip a beat. The fans of the teams, man, they're probably just going to be in attendance anyways. I love this for the CFL. I think every single move that Stuart Johnson has done has been tremendous, minus the playoffs. And I'll die for saying this. I don't care. The playoff format next year sucks. That's probably the worst thing Stuart Johnson has done. But I love hearing the speculation that Quebec City is going to get a team. And then
Ooh.
three, when I opened up my
Ooh.
phone, I saw the zone partnership with the CFL. That was something that I think they needed to do a long time ago.
Yeah.
But the previous commissioner, Randy Ambrosi, he didn't want to do anything of that. He saw the product and he was like, it's good enough. Stuart Johnson comes in. He goes, we have great, talented football players in this league. Let's make it bigger.
Yeah, and if Stuart Johnson ends up being like a martyr for Americanizing the Canadian Football League, then whatever, so be it. The product's better. I don't care. But the other thing I want to say is to kind of tag along to what you were saying, Daniel, which is it's not just like genius to bring it up, but it's just so goddamn true. And this is what fans need to understand the fact that this could be a financially lucrative opportunity for the CFL, like Daniel was just saying. Your players can get paid more. How do you think football teams and sports franchises generate revenue? Yeah, it's through concessions and merchandise sales and things like that. But the big bulk of the money is through TV licensing deals and streaming services deals. And that is what you're seeing the CFL finally broach into. And to me, this just makes all the more sense. And the salary cap is going to be extended. Guys will be getting more money. You're going to just see more opportunity throughout the game itself, throughout the Canadian Football League. I don't see why it could be a bad thing for the CFL, a homegrown league that plays a sport which is virtually dominated by its, not intercontinental, but North American partner. This is everything you could ask for and more. Finally, the CFL will be able to have more eyes on it, I think, which is going to, increase the growth of the league. And these players are going to be paid like they deserve to be paid. And it's just going to be, guys, like the teams will have money to renovate their stadiums. And I know that no team really plays in a dilapidated stadium, but still, just being able to have these resources by your side, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's terrific and it's just beautiful for the league because I know they've also partnered up with some exclusive content that's going to be posted on YouTube too. That's just even better. More eyeballs in the Canadian Football League is the better. The lot of the fans are old fashioned, and I'm gonna be honest, cable is dying. Streaming services are in. Get with the times. That's
I
the
don't have
damn
cable.
truth. Just and it's because they're all old fashioned. The majority of the CFL fans are older people. But that's the damn truth. But you got to get with the times. It's 2026. Streaming services are here. If you thought the CFL was never going to go to the streaming service, because they're really not on a streaming service, one game. It's a Saturday game
Hmm.
out of the whole week. That's
And
nothing. That's literally nothing. And
the other
but I can't get mad. I will get upset if they're charging us 30, $40 to watch that. I'll be like, okay, that's a little ridiculous here.
Well, then the whole venture is going to be doomed from the start if they start because people won't pay for it. But
Yeah.
the thing that I think is good about this venture with the CFL as well is it's not like the NHL where now to watch Monday night or not Monday, one of the weeknight hockey
Monday
games.
Night Hockey on Prime.
No, 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 no. You have to pay for Crave now
Oh, yes.
to watch. I forget what day of the week it is, but starting next year, you have to pay for Crave along with Prime. And then if you're in Canada and you don't have cable like me, Sportsnet Plus, that's three streaming services you got to pay for. For the CFL, it is only two so far. And if you just really want to watch the CFL, guys, you don't have to pay $65 a month like me to watch all just pay whatever it is, the standardized CFL package if they offer it. But that's the beauty of it is only one Saturday night game will be on DAZN, so the rest of them will be on TSN in the same spot that they always have been. So you don't have to pay for multiple different outlets.
And another thing too with that, like that's 100%, that's the damn truth right there. A lot of people don't like the truth. People don't like to see the CFL excel. I've been saying this for years. The CFL fans are passionate fans, but they don't want to see their own league succeed. They that's the truth. I think they have terrific fans, unique fans, diehard fans. They don't want to see their league succeed. And people that think this is a negative blows my mind because there is not one negative coming out of this new deal, this new broadcasting deal that the CFL put on. Stuart Johnson did a 10 out of 10 move with this. He did a 10 out of 10 move with the rule changes. The only thing was probably a 3 out of 10 is the playoff format, but it's great because everybody gets in except one. Maybe the Hamilton Tiger Cats can finally break that curse and win the Grey Cup. That'd be awesome. But Stuart Johnson has already, in my eyes, have made this league better. And he's only been in charge one full year. He's coming on to his second season, and he's already made this league better. He's already made it feel better. He've already made. People were talking about the CFL Bush League compared to the NFL. Obviously, the NFL's king. The NFL's king. CFL is staying in their own lane and creating opportunities because people out there do see this product and they do go, you know what? Let's do it. Let's broadcast some CFL games. And you already seen it with TSN. Their broadcast is just getting better as the years go on of broadcasting the Canadian Football League.
Mhm.
TSN is doing a terrific job. Bringing three people in the booth last night: Luke Wilson, Dwayne Ford, and Rod Smith. Those are three All Stars right there. What an All Star lineup that was. And with the panel at the stadium, and with Brandon Banks getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, where the TSN panel, like Kate Burness and Milt Stegall, told him that he's going to the Hall of Fame. What a moment, by the way. But and what a television moment that was. I don't think people are going to talk about that much, but the CFL is winning right now. And the fans that are, I like to call negative, super negative about their own league, don't want to see the Canadian Football League succeed. And don't mind what's going on with my lighting. I have zero idea what's going on with it.
What's
I
going on
could
and
not
on?
tell you what's going on with it today.
You just get bright on one side of your face,
Yeah, it just
and
gets
it's the same
bright and then
glow.
it is what it is. We're gonna roll with it. But my final thought is this the zone deal. I'm absolutely amped up for it. The Hamilton Tiger Cats need a win next week. Let's go 1-1. They can't start 0-8 like they did a couple years ago. Um, Montreal Alouettes, they look real good. They look really hungry. That defense looks solid. Um, CFL's winning, but let's move on. Let's talk about the NHL playoffs. What a game last night from the Hurricanes and Vegas Golden Knights. And here's the brightness and the whatever's going on with my lighting. Um, Overtime win for the Hurricanes last night to tie up the series, going back to Vegas. Seth Jarvis from Winnipeg, Manitoba, scoring the game-winning goal. Scenes, absolute scenes. What a wild, chaotic third period that was. We're going to see 7 games in this series, aren't we?
Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know why, but to me, it felt like Carolina had to do everything and more, and it looked that much harder for them to get the win last night. And after Stone ties it, and then once Stone ties the game, it's just like God, like Vegas just doesn't die, and they have guys still left from the 23 championship. So I think personally, six maybe,
For
maybe,
Vegas?
yeah, because they're going back to Vegas too. I
Yeah,
don't.
they are going back to Vegas, tied at 1 now. But yeah, you're right. Vegas doesn't die. Um, That's because they're coached by such a terrific coach in Tortorella.
Yeah.
This guy has no quit in his own life. He's not gonna. His players are obviously not gonna have any quit. But what a third period that was! A chaotic third period. Going into the third period, I'm just said third period alive. The Vegas Golden Knights were up 2-0. They choke it. They go down 3-2. No quit in their body. Tie it up. Go to overtime. But then a one-timer from Seth Jarvis. Oh my God! What a game! We had 2 overtime games last night. The CFL and the Tiger Cats, and the NHL Finals, Stanley Cup Finals, Game 2. Terrific scenes. I'm loving this series so far. We're only 2 games in. Next game is Saturday night. That takes place in Vegas at 8 p.m. Series tied at 1. I'm a believer in 7. You're a believer in 6. I don't know who's going to win it, but if I had to speculate, I think it's going to be Vegas in 7.
I just don't see Carolina generating the amount of grit that Vegas
And
does.
and
Like,
that's why, because I think I said earlier, I think I said Hurricanes in 7 or Hurricanes in 6 last episode. I can't remember what my prediction
yeah.
was, but you're so right. I'm changing my pick. It's good to be Vegas in 7 because the reason why I'm changing it is because Carolina doesn't have the grit just like how Vegas does. Vegas's 4 lines are dominated, and you had a great take last episode about their 4 lines are coming together at the right time, and they're dominating. We've seen it in game 1. We saw it in game 1 for the Vegas Golden Knights. Saw it for through 2.5 periods last night for the Golden Knights, but we just didn't see it in overtime. We got a lot of hockey left. This series is it's basically 0-0, and it's a brand new series.
Yeah, I think personally, the story of this series is adversity, and it's the fact that Vegas has been facing it all year long and Carolina has not been. When you got a team like Vegas that barely made the playoffs, had their coach fired during the season, and then
And
beat
not even just during the
probably the
season. 8 games remaining in the season.
8 games remaining. What is he like, Mike Budenholzer from the Bucks? And then what after that? They grind out a an amazing Western Conference Finals victory over probably the league's best team on paper. And then what adversity has Carolina faced at all in the playoffs? None really.
I
They
think they've only lost.
steamrolled Montreal. They really did. They steamrolled the Canadians, and then we were hopping on here hoping the Canadians would be able to show some fight. They showed a
They
little bit.
dominated though. They dominated. Like, that was pure domination, game in and game out,
Oh
by the
yeah.
Hurricanes against the Canadians. But here, right now, that's why I think this series is going to go 7 games because you're gonna see the Carolina Hurricanes probably dominate Vegas for a couple more games, and you're gonna see it again for Vegas dominating the Hurricanes. It's gonna be a battle, and that's what you want in the Stanley Cup Finals. You want a good, grindy, gritty battle, and that's
Yeah.
what we're gonna get here in this NHL Stanley Cup Finals.
Carolina needs to make sure that they're always on the verge of scoring first. If they get the first goal in one of these games versus Vegas, granted, it's not easy to maintain it, but it puts Vegas, a team that is notoriously good at coming back from adversity, in a hole. You put them in enough holes, they're bound to slip up at some point. So, and the first line for Carolina still isn't playing well. I know Jarvis scored in overtime, but what did he do in regulation? You know what I mean? Like, I just still really don't see the firepower that should be coming from the Hurricanes for first line, excuse me. I don't see it. And
No,
that is
I
what's
agree with you
appealing.
on that. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. But that's the greatest thing about this team, though, this Hurricanes team. They can wake up at any moment and they can open up any game. We haven't seen it just quite yet, but I could promise you that it's gonna happen in game two because after they lost game one and after the first two periods last night, there was a lot of firepower from the Hurricanes in that third period that we haven't seen, that we didn't see in game one or the first two periods of game two. That firepower was missing. They found their firepower. Even in overtime, they found their firepower because they played a pretty solid overtime game last night. The firepower might be just coming back. But we don't know we don't know what type of Hurricanes first line we're going to see on Saturday night. Because if we see a domination of four lines, then this series could get wide open real quick. The game could get open real quick too. But Vegas, on the other hand, they're so good defensively. They're such a good defensive team. They're a very good defensive team that they could shut down the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes haven't really seen a team yet like this in the playoffs. We thought Montreal could have done it, but they didn't. Sadly, they didn't. No Canadian team is going to win the cup again. But at least we have a lot of Canadian players on these two teams that will win the cup. Vegas, on the other hand,
Such a shitty consolation prize. I'm sorry for the French there. The fact
it's
that we have to sit up here and then say, no one's won the cup in Canada since '93, but at least everybody, or at least more than half the players on the team are Canadians. It's like, God, what have we become?
what has happened? What has happened to
Oh
Canada?
my
We
God, what
can't
have we
a
become?
terrible double IHF World Championship. A, a fourth place. Come on, Crosby is on the ice. Play better, boys. That's ridiculous. And then World Juniors collapse,
Oh,
Olympic collapse. Honestly,
oh,
that was just a stellar game from Hellebuck. The women's can't even buy it when they lose. They lose to the United States in overtime. Also, it has been a bad 2026 for hockey for Canada.
yeah.
Thank God we don't have to see any best on best competition probably for another 2 to 4 years. Thank God, because oh my God, and Russia's coming back. I forgot that Russia is coming back. Oh,
No,
Canada, as we know it, might be over and might not be the hockey powerhouse of the world anymore because Russia's coming back, and we all know about those Russian stars. They are terrific hockey players. Do I got to name them? I think everybody knows. Then we got the United States. They just won Olympic gold. Is there anything more that you have to say about that? They won best on best, greatness on greatness, Olympic gold. Canada hasn't won anything. Is four? Can we count four nations after how the Olympics just took place? I can't even count the four nations as a real tournament anymore.
and the Finns just keep getting better and better and better.
Everyone's getting better as Canada's development. Trust me, Canada has great individual talent. We that's not even a question.
Yeah, but you're not seeing them play as a unit on any sort of
they
international
but
stage.
the craziest thing is they can play as a unit. But that I just go back to the Olympic gold medal game. Hellebuck, man. Carter Hellebuck. This guy, I think that was the best goalie performance I think I've ever seen from him. They had the sixth man on the ice. Rest in peace to Johnny Gaudreau, because that was the sixth man on the ice right there. He with his angel wings got them that win, got the United States that win because Connor Hellebuck played. Have you seen Connor Hellebuck play like that? In how many? Like, I haven't seen him play like that in years. It felt like.
No, no, I haven't. I mean, he like his reputation in the NHL is as like someone who doesn't even perform well in the playoffs. So for him to, you know, like just perform masterfully in
But
the gold medal game, it's like it's kind of the same thing to me as and don't hate on this comparison. It's like Kylian Mbappe all nearly winning back-to-back World Cups and then leaving PSG and having them win back-to-back Champions League. It's like I don't get it. I don't
it
get why.
makes no sense. But I do got to say though, with the rest of the world even getting better at hockey, because Latvia is also getting a little bit better in their development. It's honestly a great thing to see because that means I think that's going to go into Hockey Canada's development and be like, yo, we got to get better.
Mhm.
We got to start winning. We got to get back on top. And that's the damn truth. Because I'm actually happy that the rest of the world is kind of coming up to Canada's level. I'm pumped up for it. Canada, on the other hand, because I'm Canadian and we're not used to losing in hockey, our main sport, it kind of sucks. It's
Yeah,
pretty embarrassing a little bit.
blows. Yeah.
Blows the worst. When
Blows.
you have Crosby on the ice, Celebrini is what a terrific young player that guy is. But the amount of individual talent Canada has to produce is outstanding still. No country will come close. Maybe the United States. But still, at that time, I think there's still ways to go for the United States with individual talent. But team play, Canada gotta get better, man. They gotta get better.
Dude, don't worry. Canada's still gonna win the World Cup.
Let's see if Canada can make it out of the group stage.
They won't. They won't. In fact, I'm even willing to do a show bet that they won't. If they
I,
do,
I I just want them to score 2 goals. They already have 1 goal scored in the World Cup history in their 2 appearances. And their third appearance, got let's score two.
you know what? Show bet. This is Dan Patrick show lore. If Canada makes it out of their group, I will film myself taking a pie to my face. And then you can post we'll post it on socials, we'll make it a part of the thing. This is my dignity at stake, ladies and gentlemen.
So a
I can't
show
be
bet,
having
show
strawberry
bet for Nick
rhubarb all up
Taz.
in my face. Like that's not good, man.
Sh- sh-
That's not good.
Show bet for Nick Taz. If Canada makes it out of the group stage of the World
No, no,
Cup,
no. They win their group, not
oh,
make it. Win the group. They
win
have
their
to
group.
win
If
the group.
Canada wins their group
Yeah,
in the World Cup, that starts next week.
yeah.
Nikki Taz will get a pie to the face, and everyone will see it on the socials. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Like, let's go Bosnia. Actually, no. What am I saying? Let's go Switzerland. I don't want Bosnia winning anything after what they just did to my glorious country that represents my heritage. Come on. What is wrong with me? Get it
Let's
together.
let's talk about one more thing though before we talk about Italy. We're gonna talk about the New York Knicks. Oh, I'm losing my voice. My voice is gone. It's gone. It's good night. The New York Knicks take game one of the NBA Finals. Jalen Brunson in the first half wasn't looking like Jalen Brunson. Got hurt in the first half. Thought his knee was exploded. I thought it exploded for a second. I thought it was good night. Comes back, has a legendary fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson, ladies and gentlemen. Game two tips off as we're recording this at 8:30. But Jalen Brunson, ladies and gentlemen. What a performance. What a game one that was. Wemby is going to be on a mission tonight. Wemby's going for 30 points. I'm already predicting it here. You guys already know what would happen as gets uploaded tomorrow morning. The Spurs, they got to play a little bit better because those New York Knicks, they came out firing in that fourth quarter and actually halfway through the third quarter. Spurs in the NBA Finals, they're a young team. Gotta close out games. This Knicks team is for real. I'll say it now. I was calling you. I didn't like that the Knicks were in it, but man, they are fun to watch. Nick, what do you think about that game one?
Game one was awesome. I thought the way the Knicks came together, especially after Brunson came back from injury, he finished with 30 points, and most of the impact that he had on the game came in the fourth quarter. The guy is really the clutch performer that they had hoped in buying when they traded for him back from the Dallas Mavericks. Cat had a great game, 18 points, 12 rebounds, and Shout out to Cat for containing Wemby in the paint. Now, the Spurs in the paint were not very good. And if anything, tonight's game, on the day of the recording, tonight's game, it'll be the result tomorrow. You guys won't know because this is coming out the day after. But game two is a must-win game for the Spurs. Must-win game. If they don't win this game, they're going to lose the series and they're going to lose it quick because the next two games are going to New York. And if I don't know, a lot of you guys haven't been on social media and seeing side talk and all that stuff, then let me just say, you don't want to have to go play the Knicks in a finals
You
game
don't
at
want to go to the
Wembley.
Garden. You
No, you
don't
don't
want
want
to
to
go
go
to
to the
the
Garden.
Garden.
I got a stat for you, Daniel. You ready for this stat?
I love stats.
No team has ever won the finals after going down 0-2 at their own home.
Oh,
No team has ever done that. Guess the teams that have gone down 0-2
on the
on the
road and end up
road and
winning.
have come back to win. I don't
Who
know.
is?
2017, no, 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers. That's one. How about the
Yep.
2006 Miami Heat?
Oh, yeah.
69 Celtics. Like some of the best teams in history, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
And the Spurs don't have the benefit, and I say benefit in a weird way, but they don't have the benefit of having learned what it is like to lose in the playoffs. They are in the finals right now without having had that monumental conference finals loss that most ascending NBA franchises usually have to go through, like the Oklahoma City Thunder. They went through it. The Boston Celtics, how many times did they lose in the Eastern Conference Finals before they beat Golden State? Quite a bit. The Miami Heat, now they didn't win the finals against the Lakers in the bubble, but they've been in the conference finals numerous times, haven't been in the finals that many times. So it's a good thing to know how to lose because it teaches you how to win. And I think Wemby needs to be more efficient in his decision making against the Knicks. He had 26 points and I forget how many rebounds, like 12 rebounds, something like that. But the guy was not great from the field at all. He
And that was
shot
the
6 for
difference
20.
maker. That was the difference maker. When they took Wemby out of the game, like the Knicks defense did in that fourth quarter, in the last 4 minutes of that fourth quarter, that's when you knew Jalen Brunson was going off. And he went off. Did he ever?
Why? And I'm asking you this question. I'm not asking it just in general, but like to you. Why would you try to wrap your head around this? How can you let the Knicks score 50 out of their 105 points in the paint when you employ a 7'5" French alien on your payroll?
See, it makes no sense to me either.
Makes no sense
But they
how this
did do a
happened.
great job on ball movement. That Knicks ball movement on the fourth quarter was really catching that Spurs defense off guard. And that is what I love to see because that's what many teams couldn't figure out. The Knicks figured out in one game. The Knicks, the New York Knicks, they figured it out in one game. Expect to see that again tonight, but I expect Wemby to drop 30, just have an absolute all-time stat line tonight, and take the Spurs on his back to victory. And what is going on with my lighting today?
I don't know. It is getting right.
It's getting worse and worse and worse.
But
But hey, let's go to our debate piece. We were talking about it yesterday. Should Jalen Brunson be considered an all-time great New York Knick if the Knicks win the title? What do you think about that, Nick?
okay, this is gonna get me hate, but no, he's not an all-time New York Knick if he wins the title. And I know it's the Knicks' first title since, the early 70s and all that. I get it. 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 Absolutely. He's in the pantheon of all-time Knicks point guards. Absolutely. But unless you get a and this is where it's going to be like this is nitpicking from old Nick Taz here, but when you think about signature moments in the NBA Finals, how many more signature moments are there than Willis Reed coming back in the 70s, I forget, 73 or 72 NBA Finals from the locker room hurt and then scoring 30 plus points to win the Knicks their, I think, second straight championship? There's not many. And I think Jalen Brunson needs that signature moment, if that makes sense.
He
Because
kind of
the
had it. He banged up his knee in game one. He came back and put the team on his shoulders, put the team on his back, and finished off the Spurs in game one.
yeah, but that's but he no, I can't agree with that because that's what Willis Reed literally did that. Willis Reed put the team on his back after they thought he was lost for the remainder of the series. He came back from the locker room and then proceeded to score 30 plus points and win the next their championship. I get it. Jalen Brunson, like I said, he had 30 points last night. Most of his impact didn't come until the fourth quarter, though, and I understand he was hurt. But when you're talking about the New York Knicks, you're talking about them with the same breath that you talk about the Lakers and the Celtics and the Bulls, too. Probably four of the NBA's most historically important franchises. All of those franchises have had numerous greats put the uniform on, play for them, and put up signature performances. But out of all the signature performances that those franchises have had, you can clearly stack which is the most important, which is the second, third, fourth. I think if Jalen Brunson is going to be considered an all-time New York Knick, he needs to have a signature moment in a game where the Knicks have their back against the wall, and that could very well come tonight if Wemby goes off like you were saying. But that moment needs to echo the Willis Reed moment because the Willis Reed moment is the most important. That game is the most important and storied game in New York Knicks franchise history. You need to take it further than that in order for Jalen Brunson to be, in my opinion, considered to be an all-time New York Knick. Because when you talk about the New York Knicks and their all-time players, you're talking Ewing, you're talking Willis Reed, you're talking Carmelo Anthony, you're talking Walt Clyde Frazier. You know who I mean? Like I could literally go on and on. But I think in order for Jalen Brunson to put himself at the top of that heap, he needs to have a moment that truly has all of New York thinking, remembering back to the 70s. That's what my opinion. He has to bring back Willis Reed in New Yorkers' minds. And I know that's a very specific thing for me to say, but it's the Knicks, man. They've had so many legends play for them. If D Rose had won the championship for the Bulls in the midst of his prime, you know, that's a bad example because a lot of people consider D Rose to be an all-time Bull. But I think okay, here's one. And this is you might say that he is, but I don't think LeBron is an all-time Laker, even though he won a bubble championship for
No,
them.
no, 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 no. I agree with you. I don't think he's an all-time Laker. I don't.
And and this isn't me saying that, Jalen Brunson he echoes LeBron in any sort of facet, but to me, LeBron didn't have any signature moments. He didn't have a signature win. Hell, people even talk about that championship in 2020 and don't count it because it was surrounded with the bubble atmosphere.
It has
I
an
think,
asterisk beside it.
how about this? This will signature moment for Jalen Brunson, or if the Knicks sweep the Spurs. That's what in my opinion I need for Jalen Brunson to be considered an all-time New York Knick because the
What
Spurs
if, what
played
if,
them.
what if
Yeah.
the New York Knicks win the NBA Finals? Jalen Brunson named MVP of the finals. That doesn't make him an all-time Nick.
It,
Thoughts?
God, like it moves the needle, I'll tell you that. Um,
You think that's a closer
no, I'll
debate
say
than it
yes. I
what
will
it
say
would be
yes.
right now? You would
I'll
say
say
yes?
yes. I'll say yes because I don't, to be honest with you right now, as of this moment in time, given that what we just saw in game one, if the Knicks win the series, after what we just saw, he's not the finals MVP. He's not. He's not. If the Knicks win this series, in my opinion, the finals MVP is going to be Cat because of the way he contained Wemby.
That is true. And you know what was just shocking about that game also is
What?
that Wemby spent not Wemby, Cat spent 7 minutes on the bench after he was locking down Wemby consistently. What was the coach's decision on that? But that was a little ridiculous in my eyes. But I know you want to talk about Italy, so let's do this next.
Yeah.
Start bench cut, Spurs bigs, Wemby, David Robinson, Tim Duncan. Start bench cut, Nicky Taz.
Uh, this is going to cause some controversy as well, but this is pretty easy to me. You're going to start Tim Duncan you got to start Tim Duncan. I'm gonna bench Wemby and cut David Robinson. And this is based on what I project Wemby to be in his prime. Because he's not in his prime yet, ladies and gentlemen. He has not hit his prime. And when he does, then I think we will get um the true impression of what kind of basketball player he's going to go down in the history books as. And to me, he offers more as a player, as a guy who's 7'5", and you could shoot from, 35, 40 feet. You can defend in the paint. Obviously, he's the best defensive player in the league. He can shoot from mid range. He can create chances by facilitating and by driving to the rim. And the way that he looks in control of his offense, because he runs that offense, to me has him as a worthy candidate to sit just over David Robinson, who one of the premier centers in NBA history, played in the 90s with other prime, superstar centers in their primes like Shaq, Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing. David Robinson, to me, might be at least might be the second best out of all those 90s centers. Because Hakeem to me is number one. I think I have Hakeem one, David Robinson two, Shaq three, Ewing four, barely. But my start bench cut is
What a
going.
list that was. I think that's the most correct list I've heard in a while.
You agree with that?
Yes.
You agree with that? Yeah,
Yeah.
I just, and absolutely, if I'm starting a franchise and I get David Robinson as my center, I would love it. But Wemby to me is so versatile that it offers more from the five than it does for David Robinson to be your five. Tim Duncan's going to start regardless, but that's
When
my start bench cut.
That's the start. That's the start bench cut from Nicky Taz. That was actually Nicky Taz's start bench cut right there. He texted me that. That was great. So if you guys hate him, hate him. But
Hate me.
I think that was a terrific. I get where you're coming from. Wemby is going to be an all-time great on the way that he's going right now and the way that he's playing. If something tragic ends his cycle, hopefully it doesn't, and he stays healthy for 12, 13, 14, 20 years, he's going to go as an all-time great. One last piece of conversation that Nicky Taz wants to take it. Nick Taz,
Mm,
for the last 5, 6 minutes, the floor is yours, buddy. Go on. This is your discussion piece right here. The Italian soccer team, the Italian national soccer team. Take it away, buddy. Here's your floor.
appreciate that. All right, guys. So as you know, Italy missed their third. They are going through a total regime change. The head of the Italian Footballing Federation is gone. They're going to appoint a new one. They're also going to be appointing a new manager who will lead them through the coming Euro tournaments and the next World Cup, who they hope will lead them. Currently, they have an interim head coach. His name is Silvio Baldini. And a couple of days ago, Italy played a friendly against Luxembourg. They won the friendly 1-0, and it was a pretty tight game. Luxembourg could have won the game had they had a more successful opportunities on net, but Italy won 1-0. Nice header scored on a corner kick from Francesco Pio Esposito, who many, including myself, hope will be Italy's number nine over the next coming decade plus. But what is really notable about this game is the fact that the squad, except for Gianluigi Donnarumma, who's aged 27 years old, was filled exclusively with some of the best Italian young talent out there. I'm talking Pio Esposito, Nicolo Polisi from Roma. I'm talking Samuele Inacio from Borussia Dortmund. Francesco Camarda, an academy legend at AC Milan, scored 500 plus goals in the academy for AC Milan. This is the future of the Azzurri. And to have that team on the field, to see the Italian press, the federation itself finally coming over to what we want to see, which is
Can
youth
I butt in for a
excitement.
second?
Yeah.
This is something that Italy should have done eight, 8 years ago when they first didn't make the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still had ballers, don't get me wrong, because they went on and won the Euros. But this is maybe even last World Cup when they missed out. They should have done this.
The
This
young
is like
talent.
this is the perfect thing. Put your
Yeah.
young talent on display in meaningless games and meaningless scenarios and situations behind your legendary, oh, actually one of the world's best goalkeepers in Donnarumma.
Mhm.
This is something that they should have done a long time ago. Glad it's coming to fruition now because now the federation can now have a whole new look on their talent pool. And I don't know
Yeah.
why it took in this long to do something like this. That kind of makes me frustrated, but at least they're doing it now, right? Maybe they don't miss a fourth World Cup.
I hope they don't. And they have another friendly on Sunday. So if you guys want to check out what they look like, they're playing Greece on Sunday in an international friendly. But this game really was a beautiful thing for so many Italian football fans out there because you got to see the future and what you hope to be seeing on various international match days for years to come. So Baldini played a 4-3-3. They won 1-0, like I said. The average age of this squad was 20 and a half years old, which means they are finally coming around to what we want, and that is to see Italy's next generation, the young talent. Baldini called up 15 total new players for their senior debuts in the game. And there were many players who performed well. Pio Esposito, of course, who scored the goal. Nicola Polisi, who played to the right of Lapani in midfield, was awesome as well. Donnarumma was, as always, Gianluigi Donnarumma. And another thing that is exciting for Italian young footballing news is the fact that Italy just reached the Euro U17 final by beating Spain in the semis. That is now four times that Italy has reached the final in the last seven U17 tournaments. Four times. And to me, this is exciting. This is what we want to see. I will be tuning into the Greece game on Sunday, and the next plan, the next step in the plan to bring Italian football back to the forefront of the world footballing stage is to hire a new head of the Footballing Federation, who I personally want to be either Paolo Maldini or Roberto Baggio, guys that have been around the Italian footballing scene domestically and internationally for the majority of their
And
careers. They know
and
how it
been a
works.
part of the youth, been part of the youth game too.
Exactly. And I want the next coach, ideally, to be Pep Guardiola, but I don't think it's going to be. So I'm going to go with I want Antonio Conte to be the next head coach of the Italian national team
I
if
could
we
get
can't
behind
get
that.
Pep Guardiola. This is very exciting to me. We are seeing the next generation of Azzurri players out on the field. With the more games they play, the more cohesive a unit they will become. You will see more of a dynamic between all of them. And it's going to be you know, this is what gets me excited. Imagine what it could look like in 2 years for Euro 2028 with the right leadership at the foot of the federation and the right manager manning this squad. I'm not going to say the sky's the limit, but things are looking bright relatively compared to where we were in March for the Italian national team.
Things are looking bright for Italy and the national team over there. The only reason why we can say it's looking bright is because right now the Italian national team is at an all-time low. So anything is a bright spot right now, but the way that they're doing it, they go, you know what? We need to find a different. What am I? What was that? I'm blanking on my words. We need to find a different answer to the problem that we haven't been able to solve in the last three World Cup qualifications. Trust me, Italy has talent. One of the world's best talents. The youth has been the problem. The question is that the young players haven't had a time to shine on the first team, on the national team, on the biggest stage where we know that they can ball. Like you said, the U17s are ballers, the
Hmm.
U20s are ballers. Now they're getting a shot on the biggest stage. Well, not even the biggest. What am I taking? What am I talking about? Biggest stage. It was a friendly against Luxembourg, and now they
Well,
play
but
a
they're getting
friendly
their
against
senior
Greece.
call up. You're
But
right. They're
yeah,
getting their
it's
senior
a
call
senior
up.
call up. It's not the senior call up where us Italians would want it to be, but it's still a stage. But the reason why it is a big stage is because the whole federation, the whole federation is eyes balls deep onto this team and onto these friendlies because it's the future now. The
Yeah.
president has not gotten Italy nothing, maybe one Euros, but I'll take a World Cup over a Euro any day of the week. Even though that Euro was beautiful,
Mhm.
pasta tasted terrifically for the next 2 to 4 years because it was actually 2.5 years because because the
Supposed to
COVID
be
messed
Euro
up.
2020 and then it was Euro 21.
Yeah,
So the distance between the
the
World Cup and
distance
the
was like
Euros
two and a
is
half,
short.
3 years.
Yes.
Um, I had to clarify that just because my brain wasn't computing. But yeah, the spaghetti, meatballs, everything tasted terrifically. Now it's not the greatest, but all I gotta say is the future is bright in Italian soccer. Hopefully, they can get back to their prime and win another World Cup. Nick, final thoughts on the Italy Federation?
I just hope they get it right with the next hiring of the president. And after that, I think that's the first step. You hire your president who lays his plan out for how he wants everything to be run, which is why I said I would like Maldini or Baggio. Baggio published like a 100 or 1,000 page
A
report on how to
1,000 page
fix
report.
the Italian national team, and no one looked at it. So when you have a legend, an international legend, who cares and wants Italy to be back on the world stage, you listen to him. And then you have Maldini as well, who has had, senior positions in front offices across domestic leagues, including at AC Milan, where he played for the entirety of his career. I would like to see guys who have long roots and immense care and an immense love for Italian football run this federation, and then you hire your manager. After you don't hire the manager first, hire the president first, and then hopefully hire Pep Guardiola.
I like this new approach that the Federation is taking. It is a terrific thing. Nick Tazio and I will be talking everything World Cup on Sunday's episode. So pushing to the side for one episode, the Stanley Cup and NBA playoffs and any other news, we did forget to talk about the Miles Garrett trade. Do you want to talk about that Miles Garrett trade for a couple seconds?
Sure.
I totally slipped my mind until right now. Miles Garrett has been traded from the Cleveland Browns to the Los Angeles Rams for Jared Verse. Blockbuster trade.
hmm
Blockbuster trade. Bombshell, like you said. Um, what do you think about that? Jared Verse, he was a promising young defensive end, but you get Miles Garrett added on to this Los Angeles Rams football team that's in win now mode with an aging quarterback and Matthew Stafford, and they passed on Ruben Bain in the draft, and they go out and get the one of the best defensive linemen or defensive ends, probably the best defensive end in football right now, and Miles Garrett, who just broke the single season sack record last season. Well, job well done to the Los Angeles Rams. They're going to be your 2026 Super Bowl champions. I said it on the radio a couple days ago that they have the best roster in football. They have the depth, they have the star power, they have everything you want. They have a mix of veteran and youth. It doesn't get better than this. Man, the Los Angeles Rams and Miles Garrett, what a trade. And I'm pumped up for it. It just sucks if you're a guy like Jared Verse goes from the best roster in football to a bottom barrel football program of the Cleveland Browns. That's tough. But what do you think about that Miles Garrett trade?
The Rams better win the Super Bowl. They better win the Super Bowl.
It's all
There
or
is
it's Super Bowl or bust.
When has there been more of a win now move in NFL history? When has there
Probably when the
been,
Rams actually traded for Matthew Stafford.
is this one of the, or if not the biggest acquirement of a player still in their prime in NFL history? Like, think about it. Think about
Yeah.
it. Like, and it's to a team that is already loaded to the teeth, and all of a sudden you are putting the league's best defensive player on an already stacked defense. And after adding to the secondary, but here's the thing. This also makes the Ty Simpson pick look really dumb. Because if you were going to go all in to this extent and try and trade for Miles Garrett and go all in on this year, why the hell wouldn't you pick Makai Lemon or an offensive player
Nah.
who can
See,
slot in?
that's where I like the Ty Simpson pick now because you get a first round draft pick as quarterback at Ty Simpson. I don't think he was really that good in college, but now you get to develop this guy 2 years or 3 years. I'm pretty sure it's 2 years left, but it just depends on when Matthew Stafford wants to hang up the cleats. Ty Simpson gets to develop with a great offensive mind and Sean McVay, with a great quarterback in front of him, Matthew Stafford, and then they all got chirped and they all got ripped to shreds on the internet for passing on Ruben Bain, passing up on a receiver, passing up on a team need. But they go on and get Miles Garrett, so everything's better now because then you have a quarterback of the future now, and you got a Super Bowl coming in your short time.
Yeah, but if they don't win the Super Bowl, then guess what everybody's going to point to? The Ty Simpson pick, and they're
That
going to,
is true. That
why
is
didn't
true.
why didn't
But
you take a
at the
receiver or somebody who can help you out on day one? Because Ty
but
Simpson isn't playing for the next 2 seasons probably.
Yeah, 2 to 3 years. But at the same time, though, if they don't win the Super Bowl, what are they going to do? Well, they still have their team is still going to be stacked the year after. Their team, it just depends on when Matthew Stafford slows down. Is then like let's say Matthew Stafford, God forbid, gets hurt seriously and has to miss the season or miss the playoffs. Ty Simpson won't be ready. But don't they have who's the third string quarterback? Isn't it Bennett? Sensen Bennett?
I think it's Stetson Bennett still.
Yeah. Neither of those guys are ready. But at least they have that strong defense that they can rely on, and they have a running game that they can rely on. They have great receivers that they get passed on. Like they have Puka Nakua, man. They got Puka Nakua. They got a red zone receiver that catches anything in his way when it comes to the end zone, and Devontae Adams. I really like this team, even if Matthew Stafford goes down, because all you need is 20 quality passes out of your backup quarterbacks after acquiring Myles Garrett.
Yeah, but tell that to Jarrett Stidham.
That is true.
Like that's what I mean. Like to
But
me,
he
I think
also never did 20 quality passes, Jared Stidham.
no,
He
but they
probably,
could have easily beat the Patriots.
oh no, they could have. They could have. But the Broncos, they don't got a defense to rely on like now the Rams do. But the Broncos still got a terrific defense. They still got a
There.
terrific defense.
It's like 1 and 2, actually. If you think about it, the
Yeah,
Broncos might be the
like the
two
Broncos do
behind the
have a
Rams
terrific. Like
one.
they could have easily, and then they're thinking that in that game though, because I do like the Broncos a lot.
Hmm.
Um, The thing is here, that game had so much different weather at the worst possible times. We went from what? Rainy, gross snow to hard snow to no snow to wind conditions. That was just a terrible situation for a backup quarterback to be in. Because look at that first throw that he made. Whew, that was a beauty of a ball.
Yeah, and I also I don't want to be too much of a hater because newsflash, I hate the Rams, and this is a great trade for the Rams. But I still don't think they have the best defense in the NFL. I still think that belongs to the Houston Texans.
No,
Yeah, yeah, I
no.
do.
You can't think that after Miles
How can you
Garrett.
not think that? Yes, you can.
Mm-mm.
Because objectively, the Texans have a better secondary. So like they already have that.
But the
Number
Rams
two,
just made great quality additions to their defense at the secondary spot.
Trent McDuffie is nowhere near as good as Derek Stingley.
No, but he's not. But they have quality guys that can be physical at times, that have been in the league, have been on elite teams, and that will get the job done. The pass rush is better in Los Angeles than it is in Houston. I think the Rams have the best defense in football now with Myles Garrett just being on top of it. And I was saying that even before Myles Garrett got there, and I think this just solidifies it.
I
But
don't
it
know.
is close though.
It's
I'll give it to you.
just me being
I'll
a
give you
hater.
Houston secondary over the Rams, but at the same time, man, it's close. But overall, team wise, offensively, Rams.
Oh,
Defensively,
offensively, yeah.
Rams can take the third spot and the Broncos and the Texans can take them. They're still gonna win the Super Bowl.
Dude, you don't mess with the Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson Jr. combo? You don't think that's
I
tough?
like them. I like them both. But man, Miles Garrett mugs both of them.
No, no. First of
Miles
all,
Garrett.
you can't bring up Mog for the first time in sport history. First of all, you just decided to drop Mog as we're wrapping up the show for the first time in sports history. I can't even talk. Show history. It just drops Mog. Sure, you win the argument, man. You just drop. See you guys next time. Miles Garrett's gonna be mogging my Seahawks on Sundays.
Dude, I don't know why that crossed my mind. I think I was watching too much TikTok
If
today.
you say that Trent McDuffie is gonna looks max other DBs, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it.
But what about Brian Young? Let's get back to Brian Young and Miles Garrett. Young's coming off of a 12 and a half sack season.
Yeah, but Will Anderson Jr. and Daniil Hunter, I don't have the stats in front of me, folks. I don't sound smart right now, but like still. I don't have stats in front of me. I did notes for what we planned to talk about. Damn it.
No,
Now
but like
I'm
I'm
getting
telling you, like,
mobbed in
bro,
the argument.
we do have it's a great discussion piece right there for like who's the better duo? A D line on opposite side from each other on the edge. I'm gonna go with Brian Young and Miles Garrett.
Um, just because I like debate, I'm going to go with the Texans.
And I like that too, because that's easily a 1 and 2. Um,
To be honest with you, I need to take a look at the stats before I conclusively say my answer.
Google their stats
All right.
right now. We got all we do is got time, but we got a guy that just set the single sack record in a season, and then we got Brian Young who had 12 sacks.
Okay, Texans defense stats. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Let's see, guys. Let's see here. Okay. All right, Will Anderson Jr., he had 12 sacks. How many did Daniil Hunter have? This is just in terms of. Okay, Daniil Hunter had 15.
And then the other and their partner.
Yeah, Will Anderson had 12. Daniil Hunter had 15. How about that?
I think I'm gonna take 20 plus and 12 any day.
He's not doing 20 plus again. Don't get it twisted.
Bro, he's probably gonna do 15 or 14 next year, and Brian
Easily.
Young, and that's just gonna open up Young. That's gonna open up Young even a lot more now next season.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not scared of Brian Young.
Dude, you gotta be scared of him. He's a baller.
No, I'm
He's a
not scared of Brian Young. You know how many guys have had just like a 12 sack season and then gone on to do not much else?
but we're looking at what they just did in their past season, and I think just adding on that veteran presence of Miles Garrett is just gonna make him a lot better football player.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he objectively, like seriously speaking, he's going to be able to learn behind one of the all-time best to ever do it.
Yeah.
And he's going to be doing it in a system that promotes openness, and the willingness to try new things. You know what I mean?
It's gonna
There's,
be a scary time. Like I think the NFL should be scared of what's coming ahead because there's so many good football teams and so many good defenses alone in the National Football League for next season that it just makes the season even a lot better now, and it just makes the storylines a lot better. Do they play against each other next year, the Texans and Rams?
I don't know. Let's see the Rams schedule. I can't believe I have to friggin' see Miles Garrett twice a year.
Yeah, that sucks. That
Like
sucks.
that is just straight up evil. Evil, man. Okay, Los Angeles Rams 2026 schedule. Okay,
Because
you
if
ready?
they,
I'm going to break down their record right now.
all right,
Okay. Week 1, San Francisco. That's a win.
win.
Week week 2, New York Giants win. Both home games. Week 3
Oh,
at
easy.
Denver. I'm going to go ahead and say a loss.
I think Denver wins that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Week 4
So
at
wait, what are we
Philly.
at right now? 2-1.
Right now we're at 3-1.
Okay.
Week 4, they're going to beat Philly, so that's 4-1. Week 5, oh my God, my poor Bills. They're gonna just destroy the Bills. So that's 5-1. Week 6, Arizona, 6-1. Week
Oh my
7,
God.
Vegas, 7-1. Week 8, Chargers. That's a good game. I'm gonna
Where
go
at
Chargers.
Chargers? I think Los Angeles SoFi is a hard place to play.
I think the Chargers are gonna win that
Oh
game.
wait,
So
they're
we
wait. What am I saying? Is it at Chargers? They're playing the same stadium.
it's gonna be so funny to see who pops out cheering for who.
Yeah, I just crossed my mind. They play in the same stadium.
So through 8 weeks, there's 2 losses. So that's they're 6-2. Week 9 at Washington, that's a win. Week 10, Arizona at Arizona, that's a win. Week 11, bye week. So through 11 weeks, they're 9-2. Week 12 versus Green Bay, win. Week 13 versus Kansas City, win. Week 14 at San Francisco, I'm gonna say a win. Week 15,
That's gonna be
oh
a close one.
Daniel, week 15, Dallas Cowboys. Oh my God.
Win for the Rams. I don't think that offense is going to know what hit him. That defense doesn't even know it's going to hit him. Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, Devontae Adams, Puka Nakua.
And this and
That
this is
defense
the
is going to be in
interesting
shambles.
part. Last 3 games, they have Seattle at Seattle, Week 16, week 17 at Tampa Bay, and week 18 at home against Seattle. So they get Seattle twice within the last 3 weeks. And I think
They're
they're
already
going.
getting they're gonna get the biggest test of their season at the end of the season going into the playoffs. You know
So,
how much good that does a team? That's actually crazy for both though, for both teams.
so I have Seattle winning one game and then the Rams winning one game. So
Splitting,
overall,
yeah.
through 18 weeks, I have it'd be 15-3, I think. Yeah, 15-3 because I have the Rams only having three losses. So the losses are going to be, um, the losses are at Denver, versus the Chargers, and then I'm going to say at Seattle they lose. I don't think Seattle wins in LA.
And I agree with that. I think that team is going to be terrific. But at the same time, though, that test at the end of the year for both teams, that Seattle test and the Rams test is going to be good for both teams entering the playoffs.
Yeah, and they also in between the Seattle games they play Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay.
You
That
see,
could be
that's
a
even a
trap
bigger
game.
test.
That's a
Like,
trap game
yeah,
because you're playing the defending Super Bowl champions twice within the 3 week span. In between those games, you got to go play another team who is probably going to make the playoffs. They could have four losses. I think they're going to have three
I
though.
think the maximum losses they have is five.
Five losses. Who else would they lose to? Maybe
Well,
Philly.
no, I'm
I
just
don't
saying,
know.
like you always see it. You always see with these great
Yeah,
teams, they don't
yeah,
show up one week, but they show out for the rest. You know what I mean? I would say 4 to 5 maximum losses. Six would kind of surprise me.
yeah. I can agree with that. Six would be a failure.
Mhm. I
Six would
agree.
be a failure. Even
I
five
agree.
would get so much hate.
Yeah,
Five would
like
be
like
bad.
12 and 5 is an ugly looking record.
Yeah, like they need to win the division.
Yeah.
And that's easier said than done, given the fact the division is now the best in football.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But
It's I can the NFL start?
yeah, it's crazy how many bombshells we've had.
Like that day we were recording, literally the news came out I think 10 minutes after we recorded.
Yeah, and you know what the crappy part about it is? Is the only thing we report on is just OBJ.
Yeah,
The big
yeah.
trades that come after we stop. We're
It's
like,
like
oh,
great Odell's coming back to New York. It's not like he's gonna go for 1,000 yards.
he's probably gonna get 500 because I don't think Neighbors is gonna be there, and Jackson
Dude, I'm
Darce
not
is
gonna lie though,
hammering
that
the
would be a
ball.
successful season for OBJ in his return.
I think it's just successful for him to be coming back. Like
Yeah, I
the
think it's
guy.
great for him to come back.
Yeah, I do too. I
And
wish
I
he was.
like OBJ. I hate it saying it because growing up, OBJ used to absolutely torment the Dallas Cowboys. He made that beautiful one-handed snag against the Dallas Cowboys. I think it was on Sunday Night Football
Yeah.
when I was a kid. Now I'm a grown up, and he's back in New York. Like life's a simulation.
We're dude, that was 12 years ago.
Yeah, dude, I was getting ready. Like, how crazy is that?
It was 12 years ago, guys. OBJ caught the one-handed catch 12 years ago.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But we
Now
gotta
this
end
is
this
just
show.
this I know this is just unk talk now. It's just unk
This
talk.
we could
It's
do
just unk talk.
we could do this probably for probably three at 4 or 5. Maybe we could do a whole 12-hour stream just like that if we wanted to.
I know. It's be like, hey man,
Um,
remember 15 years ago how much better it was than now? Yeah, it was the best.
remember when like Fox the broadcast was the best? NBC, their goals what was it? What do you call it? Their what do you call the score display?
Oh, the score bug?
Yeah, score bug. I was on like that NBC score bug in like
Oof.
2010 was beautiful.
Just take it back to when the NFL were licensed by Reebok. Oh, oh,
Or starter, where those coaches wearing suits on the sideline.
just Madden 12, Peyton Hillis. How about
Oh,
that? Oh, that's a deep
dude,
cut.
have you tried this game 20 and 0?
20-0.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna add this in the episode right now. Why don't we just do this quickly before? Let me just open up my Google. We're gonna do this 20 and 0. Can you see me still, Nick?
Yeah, I can see you still.
All right, bet. 20 and 0 NFL roster building. We're gonna do this. All right. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, how do I share my screen? Technical difficulties. This is gonna be the last thing we do on this show today.
This was a big one.
Yeah. Alrighty. Uh,
Oh yeah, I
all
see.
right. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Here we go. So 20 and 0. You don't know this game?
I don't think I played this game.
Alrighty. So 20 and 0. It was you'll see it how we go. We got to pick. So we're gonna go Gridiron IQ.
All right. Ball knows.
Um, you'll see it. So now we're gonna spin. Can you see it perfectly?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so it's going to give you a team and an era, and you got to pick one of the positions. From 2006 to 2010, we got to fill our roster, and we're going to try and create a roster to be 20 and 0. So,
Okay.
Nick, let's do this together. We got the Arizona Cardinals 2006 to 2010. I kind of want to go Larry Fitz. What do
Yeah,
you want to
go
do?
Larry Fitz. Larry Fitz or
The
Anquan Bolt.
craziest thing is, too, I've been doing this all day, and it's been mind-blowing how I thought somebody did so good when I was 5 years old, and then I look back and I go, oh, that was a terrible year for them. But we're going to put them at the receiver spot. Let's spin again.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Chargers, 2011 to 2015.
We could go with a quarterback
We could
here.
go Philip Rivers, but this is my thought process today. Do we go Keenan Allen?
I
Or do
would
we
go
go 2013 Antonio Gates?
Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates.
But I can't remember what he did in that season.
I know Vincent Jackson used to be a demon at wide receiver for the Los Angeles Chargers. You
And
get him.
that was 2011. Which one do you want to go? Let's pick one of the two. Who do you think is the safest bet here?
Antonio Gates is the safest bet.
Let's figure it out and spin again. This is gonna be one long episode, but man, we haven't had a quality episode like this in time. Los Angeles Rams,
Oh,
2011 to
this
2015.
is a bad era for the Rams.
Hey, I'm pretty sure we get one re.
Oh, you get Aaron Donald. You get Aaron Donald here.
Oh, but we can't go defense just yet. We're only on offense first.
Okay, so then you take
Todd Gurley,
Steven
2015.
Jackson or Steven Jackson, bro. Steven Jackson.
Yeah, you want Steven Jackson?
I want Steven Jackson over Todd. Everybody loves Todd Gurley. I do
Do you
too.
want to put him at the flex or running back right now?
Running back.
All right, let's do it. Jacksonville,
Ooh,
2006, 2010. We've got Fred Taylor. He had that one good year, didn't he? Oh my God. Mercedes Lewis,
we could
20
do Fred Taylor at the flex.
Fred Taylor to flex. Yeah. Torrey Holt at 09.
Yeah, but he was bad, Torrey Holt then.
Near the end of his career.
Yeah, he was. It's not the same as like back in like
2006
'02.
Fred Taylor is the year I'm thinking of where he went off for I think what was it, 1100.
Yeah, and then 2009 MJD would be a good pick too, but I think Fred Taylor's better.
All right, let's put him at the flex.
Yeah,
All right, dude, this is a good squad.
this is good. Ooh,
1990 to 98. Joe Montana, right? Oh, but that was
what?
but that was early.
Can we do defense yet or not?
No, no, we gotta do this whole roster and then it'll give us the defensive side.
Um.
Tony Gonzalez could
Oh,
get a tight end here. Tight ends are always the hardest. Oh no, we already have a tight end, but we have one flex spot.
we could do go up to running backs.
So we can only go up to we need a flex, a quarterback, and that's it.
You do a Christian Okoye as like the biggest flex guy ever,
All right,
and
let's
just
do it.
have him, you know what I mean, kind of do motion all around the field, and then
But it
have him.
goes by stats. And his 91 stat is
Okay, I guarantee I'm willing to bet that Christian Okoye in '91 was better than Tony Gonzalez in '98
that is I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
because you
Marcus
keep
Allen also had a good year at
not.
93.
Yeah, but wasn't he? He's a Raider. His best years were on the Raiders.
That's truth.
I think Okoye is the answer.
All right, now this is gonna be our quarterback. We got him.
Oh my.
Troy Aikman, 99.
Oh wait, what was he like in '99?
Oh, that's true.
Oh gosh, we screwed
Because
ourselves.
Randall Cunningham came in.
This is a bad, bad,
Dude,
bad,
but we're gonna have
bad
to go
pick.
Troy Aikman.
You have to go eight. What are you gonna do? Vinny Testaverde in '04? Like, no, you need to
Drew
go
Bledsoe.
Quincy Carter. That's a deep cut right there.
Dude, I think I'm going Troy Aikman at
Yeah, you got to
99.
go Aikman.
Because their last Super Bowl was what, 98?
Man, I'm really regretting not taking Philip Rivers.
Dude, I'm thinking like Joe Montana. We had Joe Montana right there.
I don't think he was too remarkable in 93 when he
See,
was
that's
with
the
the
craziest thing is like this is just testing our stat knowledge,
Okay.
stats of 90s. But here we go. We're on defense now.
I'm gonna play this game like all night now.
Los Angeles Chargers 2016. All right.
Oh, Joey Bosa in 2019 is a good pick.
I'm just trying to see who the corners was for a second here.
I mean,
Like Derwin James in
I
2018.
remember Casey Hayward had a year where he had like 8 picks.
Yeah.
Was it
But was
Casey
that
in
16?
2016? I think it was.
But do we go Bosa?
I go Bosa. I would go Bosa.
All right, let's put him at the edge.
Yeah.
Or do you want to put him at the flex?
Flex.
I like that. I like that a lot. Baltimore 2011 to 2015. Every time I see
Terrell
Baltimore on this,
Suggs in 2011.
thank
There you
you.
go.
Yep, there's our edge.
There's our edge. I think he won DPOY that year.
2016 to 2020, the New England Patriots. Dude, this team, like Kyle Van Noy in 2018 wasn't too bad. JC Jackson 2020.
Stephon
Logan.
Gilmore in 2019.
Easily. Yep.
There we go.
I'm
There we go. JC Jackson in 2020 is a good one too. You're right. And Logan Ryan in 2016, but
yeah.
still, we got the right one.
Dude, this is a sick squad. We got 2021 to 2025.
Oh, I wish
Chris
this was
Jones,
offense. Yeah, you got to go Chris Jones. You got to go
right?
Chris Jones. Then we get our DT out of the way, and he's going to go
Exactly.
in
And
the
they're
Hall of
usually the
Fame.
hardest ones to come by.
Yeah, and I think this era, like 2020 through 24, was his prime.
Let's see it. Atlanta 2016 to 2020. We need a linebacker and a safety.
Dion Jordan, Dion Jones. Nah, not Dion Jones. I don't fucking know.
See, we have one reroll, and we are down to the final two positions.
Do we re-roll?
But the craziest thing is here, hear me out here. What if our last roll is terrible and we need that reroll? But at the same time, though, I'm okay with going on a reroll. But Neil in 2016 was a beast.
I think you know what? Take Dion Jones 2017. I think he had a
Okay.
good year that year, and I remember playing like Madden 17 or 18 and having a good Dion Jones card.
There we go. We got our linebacker. Now we need a safety. Miami
Oh,
2006.
this is bad.
Oh, we should have.
Oh my God, this is bad. And we had Jason Taylor
Oh,
and
wait, we
Joey
got a reroll. We got a
Porter.
reroll. We got a reroll.
Yeah, reroll. Okay, I'm getting look at my face. Like I'm way into this.
Man, we just need a safety. Charles Woodson,
Charles,
2011. 15 and 5, not bad. But look
dude,
at that defense, man. 97 defense to 82 offense. Oh, you were
who
so right. Troy Aikman was terrible in 99.
who else was? Let's see here. Steven
Steven
Jackson,
Jackson,
good year.
1,100 yards. I was right about that.
Fred Taylor, 1100. Dude, Fred Taylor had one more yard than Steven Jackson in 2011. That's funny. Okay, here's where I screwed us. Antonio Gates having less than 1,000 yards in 2013 is not good.
But like for a tight end, it's still terrific.
Dude, look at Dion Jones at linebacker is pretty bad too.
Yeah.
132
130.
tackles. That's a lot of
Yeah,
tackles.
that's not bad at all. But man, look at our defensive tackles and our edge. And then added on with Joey Bosa. How is that team not going 20 and 0?
Okay, Chris Jones having 1 and a half more sacks than Terrell Suggs when he's
Yeah.
DPOY range is nuts. That's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Christian
pretty.
Okoye, that's good too.
Stephon
Nice.
Gilmore too. Oh, dude, honestly, even though the ratings don't want to give it to us, I think we did a terrific job. I think I, I think you picking the quarterback late it killed us. And it's true. That
Killed
was
us.
that was my decision. I killed it. I killed it for the boys.
No, it was my decision.
No, but like we could have gone quarterback early. Oh, we
Yeah.
could have also, I'm pretty sure, used a reroll too. Damn.
I'm not happy with
I'm not happy with
Antonio
this
Gates.
15 and 5 record. I'm not.
I
Terrible. Just terrible. But we gotta
97 defense is crazy.
yeah, no, that's actually terrific. 97 defense. Dude, I think that was an outstanding job we just did there on the defensive side. Offensive side's not even that bad. Our tight end got 800 yards. Both of our running backs got
Our running
1,100
backs are
yards.
good.
Our receivers went off. I think that was a job well done for the first segment of the Daniel Federico show. Um, 20 and 0 game.
We got so lucky by getting Larry Fitz.
So
So
lucky.
lucky by getting Larry Fitz back
Dude,
in
what
there.
happens if we didn't get Troy Aiken? Damn.
I don't know. Like it depends who we're. Philip Rivers is the one that's really miffing me
Mm-hmm.
because Antonio
Mm-hmm.
Gates, that was a bad pick too. And had we gone with Philip Rivers, it probably would have taken care of our quarterback.
But
And
who
then
would have
we
been
could
our
have
tight
gone with
end though?
Tony Gonzalez in
Oh,
98.
yeah, that's
But I'm not
true.
mad about that because Okoye that year had like 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns and almost averaged 5 yards
Oh,
carry.
dude, I think
So
we did a terrific job. I think
I
we're going to do
think
that for
so.
a while until we get 20 and 0. This has been finally ending the show. This has been the Daniel Federico show. That's Nick Taz. I'm Daniel Federico. Thank you for listening to such an extended episode of the Daniel Federico show. Ciao.
Ciao.